Good morning and welcome back to Sheldon's Garden Tips, your complete DIY guide for everything lawn and garden care. Now, in a previous video, I did promise that I will reveal the name of all my plants. So today, I'll be making an attempt to do just that. So I'm starting from the back. This plant is called a clusia plant. No, this is a rubber plant. There are different varieties to this plant. I'm not sure what's the name of this variety. However, it's from the family of rubber plants. This plant is called Moses in the cradle. Some people say Moses in the basket. And now this is the Duranta Gold. Duranta Gold. Now this is called the Green Island Ficus. Green Island Ficus. And it's planted together with the Moses in the cradle. Then again, there is more Duranta Gold. That's the yellow plant. And the red and green, or the purple and green, whatever you want to call it. That's called the Moses in the cradle. Then this is Duranta Gold planted with the Green Island Ficus. So, as the name suggests, the green plant is called the Green Island Ficus, and the yellow green plant is called the Duranta Gold. And that's what it looks like from a distance. The Duranta Gold together with the Moses in the cradle. Then the Green Island Ficus behind it with the Moses in the cradle. Then in the distance there is more Duranta Gold. So as you might have seen by now, the Duranta Gold is pretty much the theme that I use for the plants planted underneath the trees. This is Lady of the Night or Queen of the Night. So some people say Queen of the Night, some say Lady of the Night. This is an Ixora plant. So there are different varieties of the Ixora. This is the larger variety. So this plant grows quite big. There is also a smaller. So they have what is called a large, the small and the intermediate. So this is the large. If you can see, the leaves are quite big. The smaller one and the intermediate, the leaves aren't as big as these. More Duranta Gold. I love Duranta Gold. They are very easy to maintain and they look so beautiful. These are again some clusias. I know some people will say I have not pronounced it correctly. However, that's what I call it, clusia. And again, the creeping figs or creeping ivies. That's the green plant on the wall, and that is expected to grow and cover the entire wall. So within a year or two, you won't be able to see the wall anymore. And that's the main reason why I didn't bother to dress this wall. It's because it's quite cheaper for me to just plant these plants to hide the wall. And I like the idea of having a green wall as well. These are Texas stage. These will spread quite nicely over time, and they will eventually be touching each other. They will grow quite lush and thick. And this is your desert rose. This is called bromeliad. So there are different varieties of the bromeliad. This one, unfortunately, since I've planted it, I've never seen it flower. that is something I actually regret. However, I hope that over time it will eventually flower, even though I'm not sure if this variety actually flower over time. So I'm just hopeful. Now this flower will twist my tongue a bit. It's called Erythrina bidwillii. Erythrina bidwillii. It's from the coral bean family. Now this plant is very uncommon here in Jamaica. I think I've only seen it one other place other than my home. So this plant wasn't planted by me. I purchased the property with this plant, and I've only ever seen it one other place. Now this is called Aglonema commutatum. Aglonema commutatum, otherwise called the Chinese evergreen. And this is called the Dieffenbachia. Dieffenbachia. This plant is a crown of thorns. Crown of thorns. It has a lot of thorns. These are impatiens. Now this is the Calathea beauty star. Another crown of thorns. So this is an Aglonema Thai plant. Yeah, so this plant is called a white angel. White angel. So I was not the one who planted this plant. I transplanted it. I removed it from a location that I never felt was as suitable as this current location. It was quite a big tree actually. It was removed from its original location. Now this plant is a caladium. This is a bougainvillea with more Duranta gold and marigold plant. More bougainvillea. Then this is the devil's backbone succulent. This plant is very easy to propagate. You just cut a piece of it and just plant it in the soil. Within a few days, root begins to form. Another bougainvillea. These are Ixoras. Now these are the intermediate Ixoras. So the leaves aren't as big as the large Ixoras, but they are bigger than the smaller Ixoras. So I will get to the smaller Ixoras in a bit. So these are the intermediates. Okay, this is called a YTT. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. YTT. And this is another Erythrina bidwillii. So this is where the white angel was originally located, and the Erythrina bidwillii was located where the white angel is now planted. So I just interchanged them. So this is an intermediate Ixora that has grown quite tall. Now it would have taken this plant a number of years to reach this height. A number of years, at least 5 years, because the intermediate Ixoras don't really go quite tall unless they aren't pruned for over a long period of time. These are bougainvilleas. I quite love bougainvilleas. Bougainville with an Ixora towards the end of it. Then the Ixora continues. Now these also are the larger Ixoras. These are the larger this is the largest variety. So these leaves are quite big, and these plants can grow quite tall. This is another bougainvillea plant. Another large Ixora plant. Oh, these are the small leaves. Ixoras. Smaller leaf Ixoras. Quite good for hedges. These don't grow very tall. This is a heliconia. So thank you for joining me for another video. It was my pleasure bringing to you the names of all my plants. I know depending on where you're watching from, some of these plants might be known by other names. I would appreciate if you could just type in the comment section what the name that you know these plants by. So these are the names that I know, and as I said, depending on where you're watching from, you would know some of these plants by different names. So in future videos I will be giving more tips on how I actually care for these flowers. So the flowers are a wide variety, so they do require different techniques to take care of each of them. So as time progresses, I will be sharing those tips. So thanks again for watching, and join me next time for another episode of Sheldon's Garden Tip, your complete DIY guide for everything lawn and garden care.